Danica Patrick's going to lead a lap at Talladega. Career best for Danica Patrick.
This was a great night for Danica Patrick.
That's Danica's best career start at a non-restrictor plate track.
And we're joined by Danica Patrick, driver of the number 10 Chevrolet, 7th at Kansas, starting from row 2 tonight. Danica, thanks for taking a few moments with us. What are you most excited about tonight's 600-mile race?
Starting fourth. We had great practices and a great qualifying, and thought I had a shot at the pole when we were quickest in the second segment, but second row is still a great starting spot, and having some clean air here at Charlotte's going to really pay off. I think it's going to take some time for the higher lanes to come in, so hopefully we get a good start and we settle into place, and we start off with a good balance.
Danica, you said after finishing off your first full season in Sprint Cup last year, during the off season, said it several times, two things you wanted to really work on and focus on: restarts and qualifying. Well, best I can tell, mission accomplished, at least short term, because your restarts at Kansas were unbelievable, and these last three races qualifying, you're right up there in the middle of them, girl.
Well, thank you. Definitely, it's definitely take a turn for the better lately. It's so nice to put the GoDaddy car further up the field where, I've wanted to be. Once we start hanging out in that area a little longer, then it'll be time to start, popping our nose in there for wins, which is the ultimate goal. But the team has done an incredible job of building good cars, and that's really what you're seeing lately. Is I've had new cars for the last few races, starting with Kansas. You're seeing the results of their labor. They've worked really, really hard to do that and to build them better, and they are, and it's showing. So I thank them so much for that effort, and because it's a heck of a lot more fun to run up front.
Well, Danica, it's Michael. It's been a lot of fun to watch you run up front, too, and starting up front again tonight. I can't wait to watch. Racing's pretty serious, but you got a break and got to spend some time with some Boys and Girls Club members. How was that?
Oh, that was good. I learned a lot about the Boys and Girls Club that day, and GoDaddy does such a good job of giving back. They are so incredibly generous, and I've watched Bob Parsons give away millions of dollars and also donate millions of dollars to charities, and so that day was about giving back to a few foundations that they support. And they were all drawing pictures of my GoDaddy car. And then once I got to the last room, which was the older group, I said, do you guys like drawing? And they said, no, because they were like 16, 18 years old, and they were drawing pictures of race cars. And I'm like, well, what do you like to do? They're like, basketball. So I said, let's go out there and do it. So they were great, but it was really about GoDaddy giving back. So I'm just lucky enough to get to be in the position to hand out some checks.
Yeah, and hopefully they can draw up a nice picture of you in victory lane. This is your third Coca-Cola 600, Danica. How do you describe for people that haven't sat in a car and done this what that last 100 miles is like?
Oh, well, you hope that your car is good, and I think that, the track changes usually a little bit at the end of the race. We're kind of expecting it to go a little bit tighter at the end of the race. But we'll be ready for whatever happens and hopefully in a good position to capitalize. But, you just I feel like you need to be further up front to have a good ending, because it's, traffic does play a huge issue in how your car feels. So those last 100 laps are critical. You've got one more stop left, and you need to get it done.
Danica, at Kansas, in one turn, you passed Tony Stewart and Dale Jr. You were racing with guys up near the front of the pack. I know that's got to be really building a lot of confidence into you, and it takes confidence to win one of these things. You're starting up front tonight. Are you confident you can stay there?
I am, absolutely. I think that our practices were so good and methodical that we're not far off of where we started. And that was in different conditions. That was cooler weather for qualifying, and that was warm weather in practice. So I am confident. But, these Cup cars are so incredibly hard to get just right. And, we all laugh and joke. We're a 16th of Packer away from being really good or really bad, and it's true. So when the temperatures come down and we start going faster, hopefully everything stays in place, or maybe it'll get better, or maybe it'll stay the same. I don't expect it to stay just the same, so we just have to do a good job of keeping up with it.
We'll be watching GoDaddy, Danica. Thanks for your time, all right?
Yes, thank you.
All right, Danica Patrick.